So in this video, I have a new pair of New Balance sneakers, and I'm excited to bring you guys a video on these ones. I actually ended up getting the first pair that ended up releasing, but it was canceled, unfortunately, from Joe Fresh Goods. I ordered it through the Instagram thing. They dropped them online, and I got a pair for my wife's size, actually, and then it ended up canceling. I was so bummed. So I didn't get a chance to see these yet, but then New Balance actually dropped this pair. And this one actually sat for a day or so, and then it finally sold out. But I tried to post it, let you guys know about this colorway because it was super nice. And this is the new model from New Balance known as the 9060 or 9060. I don't know which way is the proper way to say it. I'm going to say 9060. I think this model is going to do pretty well for New Balance, and it was really smart to lead it off with the Joe Fresh Good collaboration. So let's go ahead and get into the review of the 9060s. Hey, what is going on, guys? Hes here. Hopefully you guys are having a good day out there. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching this video. If you guys are interested in buying the sneakers right here, if you guys want to check in the link in the description, it'll take you over to New Balance's site. You can also shop other New Balance sneakers that I'll link in the description. I think primarily the New Balance Made in the USA collection is really solid. They have a really nice quality stuff, but it's also curated from Teddy Santos, who's actually the founder of like ALD. So it definitely has like a lot of collaboration vibes and mainstream regular products that they're dropping. So pretty cool stuff that New Balance has been doing this year. Now that I finally got these in hand, I can look at these and really appreciate what they created here. The outsole is definitely different. You could see it's a little bit more exaggerated on the heel of the shoe. You also have a way larger heel counter on the back, a little rubberized action there. It's definitely very familiar to some other New Balance models that we've seen, but it's also very, very unique, which is something that I appreciate. The midsole primarily and the outsole is the biggest change up of everything. You do have primarily a cut and sew upper with suede and mesh panels that look really good. It also has some reflective hits on the end as well as on the lace holes and then right under the laces down here. But a really cool looking model, and honestly this colorway is super fire. I would say sizing are true to size on these, at least in my opinion. The true to size 9.5 for myself works perfectly in here. Some words from New Balance about the product. This is the New Balance 9060. It's $150, and this is the Mindful Gray with Surf colorway. The 9060 is a new expression of the refined style and innovation-led design that have made the 99X series home to some of the most iconic models in New Balance history. The 9060 reinterprets familiar elements sourced from classic 99X models with a warped sensibility inspired by the proudly futuristic, visible tech aesthetic of the Y2K era. Sway bars are taken from the 90s and expanded and utilized throughout the entire upper for a sense of visual motion, while wavy lines and scaled up proportions on the sculpted pod midsole place an exaggerated emphasis on the familiar cushioning platforms of ABZORB and SBS. The tongue logo sports a lace jeweled inspired by the original 991. Now, as I mentioned, the very first colorway that dropped of these was actually a collaboration with Joe Fresh Goods, which was a really smart move because they've had a lot of success with the New Balance collaborations so far. He actually was the first person that teased this model, and people that are newer to New Balance look at this and go, I don't understand, it's not a newer model. It looks like just like an older style model, and I think that that's the beauty of it. If you don't know anything about it, it just looks like an inline New Balance model. You're probably thinking in the late 90s, early 2000s, they had some crazy wavy, like futuristic action going on then, and that's not necessarily the case. It's actually something now that they created with inspiration from the past, which I think is kind of cool. One thing I really like that New Balance does is the color blocking of this shoe is done like really expertly well. Considering it's an inline model, the color combination of this one is very mild, but I love the different panels and the different colors, just very subtly different, and it just blends everything all together because of how close it is. Like for example, the end right here actually has two different tones of pigskin. It has one that comes around the heel counter and then up through the end right here in the laces, and then it cuts right here in the middle for the middle part of the end, and then changes to a lighter colored suede that goes up through the toe box of the shoe and then down and around the mud guard. So they could have just used one color to make that just kind of like a more seamless transition, but I like that they kind of cut it up and used different panels and made sort of a different vibe with the shoe because of that. It's really easy to get a pair of sneakers and just go, okay, two colors, you know, one underlay, one overlay, but they're doing a pigskin overlay, two different tones, and then they're doing a leather underlay right here in the front as well as in the back, two different tones, and then they're doing a mesh underlay under that even, and that is pretty much the same throughout the thing. So it's mesh pods that you can see all over the place, and then there's the leather overlay and then the suede overlay on top of that. It's just really well done. I really like what they did with it. And then for this colorway, you have a gray interior. Then again, that little jeweled 9060 logo on the tongue is pretty nice. And then a giant reflective end logo on this side. However, on this side, you can see an embroidered New Balance logo that has dashes for the creation of the end. I think that's, again, really clever. Also, the layering on the tongue is just a nice plus as well. I mean, they didn't have to do so many different things, but it's mesh underneath, same as below. And then you have two different hits for leather. You can see one for the laces down here and then one for the top of the tongue. So I like that they did a couple layers on that as well. Then you get down to this crazy midsole, which is the part that's going to make or break these shoes for most people, because it is a little bit futuristic. It's a little bit out there. If you want something a little bit more simple or like classic, you can always go with the 990 V3. That's always a great model, or the 993 or the 992. Those are really good, clean, classic models. However, if you want something with a little extra flair on it, I mean, this one has the crazy flair and the attitude. I like that something is a little bit different and just exaggerated like this midsole is. If you want something that's kind of in between the 990 series and then maybe something like this, my recommendation is one of the other New Balance models that I really like. That's the 2002R or the 2002R. That model really is great. They have a bunch of different colorways that they've had available for that one as well. I think I have 4 of them, 2 collaborations and then 2 inline models. Inline ones meaning there's no collaboration behind it, just ones that is like a general release from New Balance. But they make really, really good colorways like this one, which is an inline model as well. Anyway, back to the midsole. It's really crazy how they did this thing. So you can see there is a softer foam layer in a light cream, and then as it transitions to the back right here, there's a little bit of wave on this side, and you can see that it goes into a darker tan, or like a darker cream color, I guess, a lighter tan. And then as you work your way around, you could see the transition from here to here is again from the darker tan to the lighter tan in the front of the shoe. But then you do have a third color for the ABZORB cushioning, as it says on the midsole itself. And it's done in like 3 different pods, one smaller one in the front, a larger one in the midfoot, and then a bigger one in the heel. And the heel one protrudes out and sticks out quite a bit. Something else on the outside you could see, they added the rubber section here. Is that the STS? I'm not 100% sure, but this is in the pod in the front, middle, and then on the rear as well. You can see it's pretty thick back here, but it looks cool and it has a nice visual effect to it. And you have this crazy exaggerated bar around the heel of the shoe as well, which I do like. I think it looks really cool. I would say overall comfort of the shoe is probably, I would give it like maybe a 7.5 out of 10. It's as good as any other cut and sew sneaker from New Balance, again, the 990s or the 2002Rs. All of those are really comfortable shoes, and I'd say really comfortable in the 7.5 range, because I already know that there's a whole nother side to comfort. And if you guys haven't seen any of my comfort videos, check them out on my channel. New Balance has the Fresh Foam X, which is amazingly comfortable, soft and squishy and like cloud-like. Then they also have the Fuel Cell, which is unbelievably soft. Like, it's really responsive, but very much give and then kick back. And the Rebel V2, waiting on the V3 coming very soon, as well as the Super Comps. Those shoes have ridiculous amounts of Fuel Cell in them. And Fuel Cell is probably the softest thing on the market, really, like next to Zoom X or something like that. It's softer than that even, but it's really incredible product, and it's really soft and squishy. So for me, I like that extreme comfort versus this. It has like a firmer midsole, a firmer ground feel to the bottom of the shoes, and a lot of people, it's more traditional style, tried and true though, classic style. And I think that 99% of the people out there that try this on think that this is probably the most comfortable thing that they've ever tried, but they've never tried the Fuel Cell and stuff like that. That being said, it's an incredible product and very, very comfortable. If you guys are actually interested in any of the Fuel Cell or the Fresh Foam X stuff that I'm talking about, I'll link them in the description as well, because honestly, it's just some of the best stuff on the market, especially for comfort. I'm going to Disneyland in a couple weeks. I'm definitely going to be wearing my 1080 V12s. It's just my go-to when I do Disneyland or Disney World or like Vegas or anything like that. It's just one of those favorites. But back to the 9060s, I think this is an incredible shoe. It looks great. It feels great. The colorway is great. I don't know, man. New Balance is doing some fun things, and it's great to be a part of the journey and seeing the evolution of what they're creating. And if they don't have any of this colorway specifically available on the website, and there's nothing available currently, then just come back to the video, check in the description, click the link, and it'll take you over to New Balance's site, and then hopefully they'll have something in the future. Leave a comment, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think they're going to get another collaboration? I feel like they're going to have a lot of other cool things. I'd love to see Salehi Bembury come back to New Balance after the yurt and do one of these, because the 9060 and the Salehi Bembury collaboration would be absolutely fire. I'm sure he would just murk it, just like he did the 2002Rs. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Drop a like if you guys found the video helpful, and you guys like my content. Please hit that subscribe button and follow the journey along the channel. But have a good one. Hopefully we'll see you back. All right, peace, guys.